I got 13 minutes to get this out to the public because my Logitech camera is broken. I saw that my video on shoe stretching was very popular. I'm going to get to the nuts and the bolts on that. Okay, I got to be very quick. This is a lot of information. Alright, the water bottle. If you're stretching men's shoes out, average is 1 pint. It goes in a liquid form. I'll show you exactly how it goes in there. There has to be some resistance in the shoe as it butts up in there in the liquid form. This is already stretched. Then in the end, that little cap, let me see if I can, that cap is going to be butted all the way down so the bottle is level with the shoe. It goes in a liquid form, then it's frozen in the freezer 24 hours at least. Put a clean shoe inside the freezer. Do your family and yourself a favor and don't put some muddy ass shoes in your freezer. And anyway, if you're stretching out some smaller shoes, you want to use like a half pint, what do you call it? Half pint liquor bottle, I would say, to a pint. The plastic ones don't freeze alcohol. It will not work anyway. Replace the alcohol with water. Okay, now I'm going to show you a few adhesives. I have made these Timberlands last since August 2014. I had to do several gluings over time. The first thing that'll go is the shoelaces. Right, I'm going to get to the point here. The adhesives that you may experiment with, there are 4 different types. This Coors Light's not part of the fixing process. I'm out of breath because I've been running around doing things. Look, here's all the adhesives that you may want to consider. See how long I've been on this video. Rubber cement, shoe goo, Gorilla Glue, hot glue gun. I'll tell you real quick like what works and what doesn't. Gorilla Glue is junk for shoe repair. It does not work. It will work for 2 weeks and then after that it flies apart. The Elmer's rubber cement is good for rubber soled shoes like my Nikes that I'm fixing now. And let's see what else. That's about it. It's not good for leather. Now this stuff is excellent for leather and hard plastic, so forth. That's about it. Let's see what else. In order to do it, I found what works really good. Oh, the hot glue gun will not work for any kind of shoe repair. No go. Gorilla Glue is overrated. I found this clamping works. Like, you need to get your bag of rubber bands, right? These heavy postal ones, like this. And your surface is going to be clean. 2 most recommended adhesives, like I was saying, throw the Gorilla Glue away or don't buy it in the first place. Get the Elmer's and the shoe glue. Shoe goo or whatever this stuff is, all available at your Walmarts, right? Seems like I got a little time, so I shouldn't panic. Alright, when the rubber soles fall apart, this is the trick. It's got to be a heavy rubber band. This will work better than going ahead and putting it under a heavy desk or something like that. But once you get your glue, usually on these Nikes, the rubber sole will start coming off. And what rich people would do would throw them away at this point. But what you want to do is somehow put rubber cement in there. If it's rubber on rubber, use rubber cement, best adhesive. And then to clamp it, just stick this rubber band around there, like this here, and double it up wherever the adhesive is put. So it's holding this flush tight where you would put your adhesive. It works great. If you would put some adhesive in the back, you're going to stretch your rubber band long wise or whatever. Your brain will tell you, hopefully, what you need to do with it. It's a lot of common sense involved in this. Last thing. If you got some scuffs on your Nikes or whatever you're trying to fix, use a black marker if it's black. If it's gray, use a gray marker. It works. Now, if I have some scuffs that are abrased like this, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking rough sandpaper at first, and then finally going down to work your way up from like 100 first to 200, then to 400 grit. Oh my goodness, I got water in this shoe somehow. No, it's only a little bit. I think there was condensation on the outside. I'll give you an example of this. See this scuff right here? Okay, I'm going to peel most of the fuzz back, pop the cap off my marker. Color it in. Oops, you don't want to stray across the border. Okay, and then just take your fingers and somehow peel the fuzz balls off. I'm coloring in the spots that are frayed. You can do the same with other colors. Now here's a part. Oh, I wanted to tell you the incompatibilities of leather in my experience. See how far I am in here. 6 minutes. Leather shoes, no matter how much you spend, even though it says waterproof on the packaging, the water will find its way in and it destroys your leather. Also, another thing that destroys leather is lime. You know, what you call it? You know, what's in the concrete powders and mortars and stuff. But anyway, and the first thing that'll go if you're encountering water and lime a lot is shoestrings. That's always going to go first. Occasionally inside of an expensive leather boot you may get something rubbing up against your foot in there. You can use the same adhesive mentioned and put some soft material in there. They call it some sort of skin down at the shoe department in Walmart. No, where they got all the, what do you call it? The pads that go in there, the inserts. They have it on that aisle. It looks like pink skins. Anyway, it's the same thing with this. Like I was saying, the shoe goo works really good with these leather boots. Same thing, wherever you have a seam falling apart in time, put you the shoe goo in there. This is obtainable at the Walmarts as well. And then rubber bands to keep tension on that area. I had a bunch in here because this part was coming off completely. And I put a bunch of shoe goo in there and then rubber banded it. And then I took my marker and I colored in this part right here so you never knew it was there, because it has a glossy appearance when it dries. So that way it looks aesthetic. Now, what was I going to show you? Oh, right here. I just, for more beauty or whatever, anything that dried glossy, I colored it in with a black marker. It's what I had. That's about it. You're going to experiment with different water bottles for the stretching technique. If you can think about it, when a bullet goes down a barrel of a gun, it's kind of a crazy analogy. It doesn't just loosely fly down the barrel. There's some tension in there. And it's the same thing with this. You want some sort of resistance when you slide the bottle in there for this to work. When it's in the liquid form, you want resistance in there, a slight resistance. And then freeze it. And then you're taking advantage of the expansion properties of water. It's the same principle when water pipes bust, the water is expanding. I don't have any liquor bottles here to show you what else you could use. Just experiment with different water bottles. The concaveness of the bottle right here is important for stretching out the toe box, because for whatever reason it just works better. And so I could use, let me see what else I got in here. If I had a liquor bottle, I'll go over here real quick and see if I got one. I don't save the bottles afterwards. No, I don't got it. They look like, you know what they look like, I'm sure. It's like a little, I don't know how to explain it. You could go a half pint for children, something like this. But that flimsy plastic works best. You got to put the cap on tight after you put the water on so it doesn't leak. Something like this for children, little baby shoes. But not this sturdy of plastic. And that is my shoe repair crash course. Wherever you need tension on the shoe, that's where you're going to put rubber bands. Make sure I can see what I'm showing you. Tension, you know what I mean? Don't use Gorilla Glue. It's junk. Don't use hot glue gun. It's junk. Elmer's rubber cement for rubber sole shoes like this Nike, and shoe goo for this Timberlands or anything equivalent, cheap Walmart boots, whatever, Red Wings, whatever your preference is. Have a good day. I hope you enjoyed my course on shoe repair.